Hello and welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade Independence. We join our scene mere minutes after the finishing of the Silverbird Championships, where Eddie, one of the very vampires in this scene, has just won. But apparently he's been alerted to someone else was just wandering into his scrapyard, and so off Eddie went with the only other person that was left from the championship, as everyone else just sort of trailed away. And that's where we join our scene, with Eddie and this other girl approaching where they were told that there was this odd masked person.
Eddie still has the Johannum sword in his hand, and he's looking around for this person. Do I need to roll?
Uh, no. I mean, seriously, your retainer's like, that's her. I mean, that's him. He's right there. Is he
That's
blind?
it.
I think he might be blind.
Okay, so I didn't realize it was like that was so jumbled. I didn't realize it was like he's over there. Okay, yeah, Eddie's gonna approach this guy and have his retainers follow him.
Say kind of hangs in the background, her baseball bat slung over her shoulder.
So Eddie and five bikers approach the masked man, and Eddie's like, "So, you still hanging around?" Being
What?
diplomatic.
What? Describe the biker jackets to me.
Um, they're all wearing like leather vests with patches on all over them, and that's their colors. Some of them have like denim jackets underneath those vests. Some of them leather jackets. Some of them are just wearing like t-shirts.
Okay. I imagine these are their biker leathers, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Fair enough. And I also assume that they're your biker gains jackets.
yeah. They all have the same color patches, and they all have the same like symbols and Satan's children on the back. Um,
Okay, okay. When five people start walking up to him, all with letters, all looking fairly intimidating, the masked kid will just go ahead and throw his hands up and sort of take a step back, saying, "No, I didn't really want any trouble tonight."
I'm not looking for trouble, as you can see. Just wondering, you're still hanging around? What's everybody else left?
I don't control anybody else's actions. I was actually invited to this place by Miss Silverberg, and I happened to take the night for a round. I happen to have to need to take a little bit of sustenance. Now, I just came back to see if everybody was still having fun, and apparently you guys already had the fun without me, which is fair enough. That's fine. If the festivities is done, if you don't feel like being a host anymore, well, I'm not going to tread too much on your land.
No, no. Just people walking around, snooping around, kind of made me worry. But yeah, if you're looking for a hunt, we could. I was thinking about going for one myself.
Interesting. I already fed tonight, but instead of going hunting for a little bit, maybe we can stop and maybe talk a little shop.
Sure. What's up? Let's go hang out in the office. And he kind of uh, signals for you to walk with him side by side as they kind of begin to converse.
I'm going
Yes,
to assume
little
all the other
Gary.
five retainers are sort of stalking around, which is not going to make him very comfortable.
They're kind of they're less tense now. Some of them have walked off. A few of them are like nearby. They're
Nah, I
not.
thought you came, he's just supposed to be polite.
Yeah, we don't want to, exclude anybody. What's your name, sweetie?
Well, they call me Sai.
They call you Sai. I
Sai?
call you... Yeah, they call you Sai. I'm gonna call
No,
you...
Sai.
They call you Say.
S-I-E.
I'm gonna call you Nikki.
It's short for Sarah.
I'll call you Sarah then, since that seems to be easier.
What is it, my accent?
Must have been your accent.
Yeah. So, business, huh? And he opens the door to the office and beckons you to come, both of you to come in. Come on. Let's sit down. I'm a little tired.
Yeah, I'll follow you inside, but can't really talk business without knowing sort of the general layout of the city. Why don't we talk about the city, for now? See where I can get my hands wet, if you know what I mean.
Oh. So what are you into? What are you looking for from Independence?
I'm looking for a few things. Just a place to get settled down, a place where I don't have to necessarily run place to place, getting shot out by the frontier people.
Yeah. So basically, you're homeless right now, and he kind of holds back a little chuckle. He says, "Yeah, it sucks. I've been there."
The thing is, you're never homeless if you bring home with you, and I always do. And from out of this kindred's pocket comes out just a small little vial that seems to be just contain a little bit of dirt. Some other white powdery substance that he goes ahead and places onto your desk, actually. Looking to the woman he knows as Sarah. What do you think about that? Where do you find home?
I think your cocaine's gone off a bit, mate.
Nah.
Oh well, I don't know anything. Never mind.
Or was it an occult roll?
Yeah, that was an occult roll.
Um,
Oh shit.
Well, fair enough.
I know.
She
One success.
might. Okay.
So-
Interesting. What are you trying to infer?
Well, I'm just having a bit of a laugh, mate.
Because then looks at you. I like to keep a bit of where I was born wherever I come. Okay? Is that a little bit too wonky?
No, just a jar of dirt.
No, mate, that's home. At least him.
Okay, well, if you need a light-proof area that isn't a little job, I guess you could stay here for the night because it's getting late.
It's nice to have the offer. What was your name again?
I'm Eddie.
And he extends his hand. Eddie, it's nice to have the offer, but I'll politely decline. In any case, how long have you been in the city, Eddie?
A couple months now. I've been doing pretty good for myself in that time.
Okay, fair enough. What if isn't... What would you say would be the first action that you could take when getting into any brand new city?
I would say the best way to get yourself set up is to establish some sort of trustworthiness with the rest of the Camarilla. It seems to be something that they tend to like. Unfortunately, it can get you screwed over. But,
Yeah, you're not joking there.
help you out. What's that?
So you're not joking there. Camarilla's a bunch of backstabbing bastards.
Yeah, but if they trust you,
They're a collection of individuals all in it for themselves. The fact that they remain so close together increases the chances of backstabbing exponentially.
oh yeah, oh yeah. You just gotta be one up on the game, if you know what I mean. And he gives a wink. So I'm assuming that you two aren't part of the Camarilla, is what I'm getting here.
Well, what would have ever given you that idea?
That gets a good hearty laugh from Say.
Sorry, did I miss something?
I think he glitched.
Okay, then Say just laughs at what the guy says.
Oh.
And the Kindred is still looking at you. He's already gone ahead and retrieved his vial and put it back into his pocket. And he's looking rather sternly at you just for a second. And if you'll allow, I would like to make a perception empathy roll to try to read your aura.
Eddie's or Sarah's.
Actually, I was more focused on Eddie. He'll do one on you as well. Don't worry.
What would that be? Subterfuge?
No, this is an aura perception.
Oh, I can't do anything?
Nope, but don't worry. I got nothing on you.
Oh, okay.
The Kindred's gaze will go ahead and look towards Eddie for a few seconds, and then his hand will go to his face and rub it a little bit. Well, he goes ahead and looks towards the Sarah over there, and two successes. So that's mostly the paleness of the aura, which
Yep.
I assume there is,
Yep.
and the predominant emotion.
Appears to be. I'm going to say happy.
If you don't mind, I'll go ahead and follow that up with an actual perception empathy roll, just to see what you may be happy about, if you allow it.
Yep.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. What has gotten you so happy?
Well, it looks like she's been in a scuffle recently, so that might have something to do with it. In addition to that, she seems to like being able to talk without having to play any word games.
Okay. She thinks that she is with a group of like-minded people and is more open to conversing, especially with that particularly anarch tone she has and that anarch philosophy she's currently spitting out. Okay, the Kindred to go ahead and actually look to say, and it's more with his eyes actually than with his mouth, which is currently covered with a scarf. But you get the idea that he has a twinkle in his eye, and he's actually smiling underneath that scarf, saying, "Do go on. Do please go on. How long have you been in this city?"
Oh, I just arrived today.
As did I. Where do you hail from?
Well, if you can't tell by my accent, I'm from Berlin. She grins rather broadly. That's in Germany.
Fair dues, fair dues. It happens to be in Germany, this Berlin place. I'll admit I've never been. I'm actually from out west, moving east, for new opportunities. Usually it's the other way around, but I decided to be somewhat of a trend breaker.
Oh, no, I'm just joking with you, mate. I'm from Canberra. Until recently, though, I was back in LA.
Yeah, how soon have you been in LA, actually? I've heard mixed tales about that place.
Not that long.
Hmm,
Maybe a few decades.
yeah, a few decades. That makes sense. I was over in San Fran, actually, since the 80s, actually.
Oh yeah? How's San Fran doing?
San Fran has its issues at the moment. There seems to be a bad element walking through. Push me out, I know that much. I'm not gonna stay there where I'm gonna get shot at.
Oh yeah, no, that feeling.
You've been running from trouble for a while now?
Well, here and there. I mean, you know how it is.
I understand. Oh man. Looking towards Eddie. Where were you before you came to this place, Independence?
And I got run out of California.
Oh, really? Which part of California then?
Orange County.
Orange
Right, we're
County.
just 3 people here from California, eh?
Well, originally I came from New York, but I moved to Cali with my parents a long time ago. Well, not that long, but not as long as apparently you guys have been around.
Oh, look at that one. He's calling us old. Old farts.
Hey, I'm no elder.
Just referring to a couple decades as a short period of time is kind of alluding to you guys being a little bit more ancient than I. He
I'm
chuckles.
sure that doesn't intimidate you whatsoever.
Considering I just kicked the shit out of Chell, no.
And tell me about this Shell. Shell de Simon. Isn't that right?
Yeah. Apparently, this is pretty juicy. Apparently, she was a vampire hunter back in like the 1500s.
Fucking hell, and you guys just let her hang out with you.
I don't believe that. Tell me another story.
Yeah, she admitted it when we fought Johannum, but you don't know about him neither. Ask my douchebag. I think you can fill in the blanks. There was like this whole four horsemen thing, and it was really biblical and annoying. And yeah,
What do you mean, like four horsemen? You talk about
like,
you see him snapping his fingers. He's looking towards Sarah. Pestilence.
yeah, that's one of them. Famine,
Famine.
death.
Talking about the end time there.
What was that?
Yeah, totally talking about the end times.
You know, that
Apparently
whole
these.
Armageddon
Oh
thing.
yeah. They tried that nonsense. Didn't pan out for them. Funny enough, he was kind of an anarch, much like yourself. But he got a little big for his britches and decided to try and take on the Camarilla. Didn't work out for him. This is good.
No. The Kindred is sort of shaking his head. We don't do that. What makes you think that we're in it to topple anybody over? You obviously don't understand the movement.
Yeah, you assume that I made a judgment on you. I'm just telling you what happened to the last asshole that challenged the Camarilla.
Wow, okay, but you said that they were anarchs.
Yeah, it's kind of a veiled
I
threat
said,
there, mate.
Yeah, I kind of don't like that kind of talk. You kind of make me uncomfortable. I mean, if I offended you, I'm terribly sorry, and I will leave immediately.
Nope, you're fine. I'm just trying to let you know what to expect. I don't I kind of get it. You guys probably just want to do your own thing, huh?
We've been doing our own thing for quite a while. Since the convention, actually. There are turns and sets and promises in place that we've held on our side for quite a while. We're kind of wondering if you're going to keep your side, actually.
Hmm.
You know, Camarilla, mate.
Yeah, backstabbers.
Well, I'm not too much for the politics myself. I'm kind of just the guy they call to finish the job.
If you'll stick up for the neonates, then you go all right in my books.
I try and keep the neonates unliving, as it were.
Interesting. Tell us, how have you protected the interests or the lives of the neonates within this city?
Well, when they don't have a weapon, I give them a weapon. When they need help, I give them help. What more is there to say? Who
Mm,
else in the Camarilla is going to do that for you?
Traditionally, a sire would. Traditionally, a sire would go ahead and furnish you with the equipment and the education in order to fulfill your unlife. But you, my good sir, you say you supply the neonates with weapons. Interesting. And what kind of help do you provide? I mean, if I came up to you and I had not to myself, not even the switchblade in my boot, what would you give me?
Depends on what you needed.
I am a kindred on my own. Do I not need self-protection? Do I need the ability to defend myself? What would you give me?
Well, you want a firearm?
Guns are noisy.
Okay. Well, I know you have a switchblade. Well, what would you want that I might have? He kind of rolls his eyes.
How about this? Let's go back to the firearms idea. A firearm by itself is mostly useless, unless you're dealing with a long-range weapon and able to snipe a target at distance. Hunting is considerably more troubling when you have to swing a 9-iron at everything. However, when you combine the 9-iron with its limited range with several other 9-irons, usually with you and a few of your mates, well, that increases the efficiency of your stopping power, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
So, follow my logic here. Either I would need a hunting rifle of considerable range, or I would need several 9-irons to help outpack as um, help gear out me and my gang.
I can definitely do that for you. Uh, out of game. Okay, I guess I could do a resources roll.
There is just a bunch of 9-irons. How many dots of resources do you have?
9 irons, I'm going to give him the hunting rifle too, because I'm a cool guy.
How many dots of resources do you have?
3?
I would think a bunch of golf clubs and a single rifle is well within your limits.
Yeah, that's kind of what I think too. Since I could I like kind of shit out like a grand and then like another 2 grand my first game.
Yeah, let me go look at the. I think it was a resources table on the forum. So I'll go check that out.
Okay. Yeah, I think I can hook you up with all of that actually. What was your name anyway?
Is it Twinkle? I don't have to tell you that. If we're doing business, then I will tell you that. At the moment, I'm simply asking questions.
Oh, I simply just said that I can hook you up with all that.
Oh, and believe me, the offer is definitely very, very tempting. But for the moment, I'm scouting out the city, seeing what's good and what's not. You, I like the fact that you are a well-equipped kindred, and I like the fact that you are also a well-marshaled kindred. From what you've told me, and from what I see of Sarah here, you were able to handily defeat that big monstrosity of a woman. believe me, there is a place for you in my worldview.
Hmm. Well, that's good to hear. Would you like to perception empathy Eddie right now, or no?
Oh, I will do so if you are inviting, my good sir.
I am.
Hmm? Ah, it's a botch.
Okay, never mind.
Well, we basically take what you are actually feeling and somewhat twist it and pervert it. Unless you would like for me to activate my heightened senses at the moment to help decrease difficulty.
uh, if you want to use heightened senses, I guess. Yeah, sure.
Okay, brings it down to 4. I like aspects. 2 successes.
Okay. You can see he's actually a little concerned about when you said worldview. Slight tinge of concern.
It's very, very interesting. My dear, it's like, my dear Eddie, how long have you been walking this earth?
Well, let's see. Probably be so like 52. I want to say. Yeah. No.
What,
Well, since I've
1932?
been a vamp, yeah, nah, a little more than that. So yeah, no, yeah, like 80 something. I don't know. I don't think about it that much. I was born before World War II.
Okay, okay, fair enough, fair enough. Let me go ahead and ask you this. Whenever you were, now these are far back memories, I don't expect you to bring them all up at once, but did you ever remember your grandpappy or grandmammy going ahead and sitting you down and talking to you about the knights and the princes and the kings of old and how every nation should be ruled by such a righteous monarchy? Did you ever hear about that?
Not quite.
Ah, I wouldn't expect you to know or understand, simply because it's about around that time nationalism really, really gets its kicked. It's about that time that all the nations of the world realized that the monarchs were pretty much insane. They were old. They were an institution built on a series of nepotism, and you can quite clearly see how that nepotism, how all that right to rule went ahead and fell all the great nations. Because here's the thing. Do you know how the Great War started?
An assassination.
Nope. The assassination shouldn't have even happened. If you go ahead and look at the documents there and the written journals, you realize that that Australian group of youths who were barely out of high school to our standards didn't have a flying shit in hell's chance of actually assassinating Frederick. They got lucky. Not only did they get lucky, it was one of their cowards, one of the ones that backed out last move that actually did the foul deed. He was eating a sandwich. Before that happened, before that very, very hour, that morning, the Frederick's own personal guard were not around. They were left behind. The Frederick actually walked into another car entirely and was being escorted not by his personal guard, but by the police of that city. And the young ruffians who wanted to murder, wanted to assassinate him, all chickened out in the worst possibilities. Hell, one even had his gun malfunction. During that final part of that parade, a grenade was chunked at Frederick and his wife, and the And the grenade went wild. It actually killed quite a number of people, but not Frederick. It was only after an hour, when Frederick was going to see the hospitalized victims of that grenade, when he was traveling down a back street, one of the young ruffians found him, took his gun, walked over there, shot him dead. He was arrested shortly afterwards. The entire thing should not have happened. Fate stepped in because a lot of young people did a lot of stupid things. Even after that, war didn't start. There was a bunch of nations, 2 neighboring nations. They were all posturing with each other, 2 of the local ones, and 2 of the greater powers, Russia being in particular, and Germany being in particular as well. Russia was already mobilizing its army, whether or not it did come to blows, while Germany was looking at the entire nation, looking everywhere, and deciding, oh God, oh God, oh God, how did it come to this? They truly did not want a war. Nobody wanted a war. But at that time, if you didn't mobilize, you lost. Plain and simple. The Germans got kicked once or twice before. The Russians got kicked once or twice before, simply because they failed to mobilize their forces. They failed to educate, marshal, and equip their forces when the time was right. They weren't going to repeat that the second time around. And it's because of that, because they all rushed to marshal their forces, their weapons, their guns, their rifles. War did inevitably happen. But here's the thing. It could have all been avoided simply by having one side concede to another side. If they had just compromised, if they had sent the letter in true faith, and if they had gone ahead and went to the Council of Nations, could have been avoided. But no. Here's the thing. Even at the Council of Nations, one side was always getting screwed over, and it was always the one that got dicked over. So, when it eventually came down to compromise one last time, or go to the Council of Nations, that one nation that got screwed over countless times again decided, fuck it, no, we are going to war. But they themselves had no way of marshaling a force. So in the end, 2 of the biggest superpowers marshaled their forces, as well as other nations around the globe also marshaled their forces because they did not want to be the ones left out. Thus begins the First World War. Thus begins a new age of suffering, mechanization, and death. So yes, the assassination may have been a central part of the beginning of World War I, but it was not necessarily the last or the most significant part of the cause.
But all it takes is a spark for a rebellion.
It takes a bunch of young youths, too stupid, but too lucky.
And a long history of imperialism that just steps on the little man.
True. That's actually quite true, actually.
I mean, the whole thing wouldn't have never have happened if the Austro-Hungarians weren't in there in the first place.
You know, by that time, the imperialistic forces had already drawn the lines on the map, and they weren't really willing to redraw them ever again. The exact same thing that happened in Israel. Or, should say, Palestine. Or the home front. Or whatever the fuck. Everybody knows that the English promised Palestine to do separate groups of people. And the only reason we're in this quagmire in Israel is because both sides have no idea the history of the other. They're not willing to listen to each other or validate the other's existence or their history.
Well, that was quite the history lesson.
Not really. I got a lot of things wrong.
Yeah.
Hey, but it was a good story, though.
It's all about the story. Whether or not you come away with true facts or not, it's all about the story.
Franz Ferdinand, cough, cough. So, well, yeah. So, what's your story? He turns to say,
Me? I was just living it up over in LA.
hmm,
Heard this place was sort of a dumping ground for those vampires who didn't really have a good start in life.
Have you ever went to the neighborhood of Bel Air?
No,
which
I
bell?
don't think I've made it over that far.
Fair enough.
Well,
There ain't really much to say. I like to spray paint things. Other than that, I like to bash heads in of people that I don't like.
you are interesting and simplistic. I like that. And he kind of like rubs his brow a little bit. So, neither of you need a place to stay.
Now, I was just staying back to help out if you need a hand with getting the arena taken down. I was just going to go and stay in a motel just outside of town.
He says, "Yeah, the ghouls can get that in the morning. They can do their day job."
Oh, you have people do that for you. Interesting. Is that how your operation works?
When you have underlings, that's what you do.
Okay, fair enough. You have a good system here. I'm not gonna, criticize it. I'm actually very interested how this operation works.
Yeah, well, I've been running this gang since the '60s. He just rubs his eye.
This gang always been stationed up here? Or, like you, did it move?
Well, like I said, I got run out of California. We had a much bigger operation over there, and then things happened.
When about did you get run out of California?
Maybe like 6 months to a year. I don't know. We went nomad for a long time. Did a lot of drugs in the desert. Well, certain people did a lot of drugs. Then I sucked their blood. And
Interesting.
that was fun.
How
But
did the
yes, I
nomadic lifestyle...
lost a few nights there.
Hmm. How did the nomadic lifestyle treat you, Eddie?
Mm, it was pretty rough.
Of course
Kind
it
of
was rough.
moved from place to place, found little places to hide. Really, I was the only one that had to hide.
Sort of looks at you. Ever see that movie Near Dark?
I'm not much of a film buff.
Well, there's a particularly awesome scene in that movie. It goes along the lines of, I believe one of the Ventrue may have pushed this out, or maybe a really, really awkward Tremere who didn't know what he was doing. They went ahead and pushed out this movie, Near Dark, about a bunch of vampires that I went ahead and lived out of a camper, actually. It's a very claustrophobic film. They really didn't stress the need and the hunger overly much, but the idea certainly got through that a group, a gang of like-minded individuals out there for survival, not necessarily for the morality of it, they go ahead and adopt a new guy to their group. And it's the new guy that always fucks you. You're gonna learn. It's the new guy who can't quite give up the fact that he has to leave his old life. He has to grow up in his new family. No, he decides to fuck it up for everybody else, and it's due to one of his fuck ups. It's due to one of his fuck ups where there's a little bit of a breach. They find them all. They find the family. They find the family holding out within that same camper. And there are a bunch of men with rifles there. PD or ranchers or state patrol, don't really care. It doesn't really matter. They go ahead and they try to get the attention of the sleeping vampires inside. They can't wake them. One does wake, sees the coppers, doesn't know what to do, panics. They start shooting. They start shooting back. Pretty soon there is a bunch of holes in that camper where a lot of sunlight goes through and the fight ends. Moral of the story. Only takes one fuck up in your family. One fuck up in your family to ruin you, your brothers and sisters, everybody. Did you have a fuck up? Did anybody in your little gang do something stupid? Did you ever have a daytime raid? Was that ever a reality for you?
Yes.
Tell me about it.
I'd rather not. He's glaring at you.
Fair enough.
So it's getting late, and I'm getting cranky, and it doesn't seem like you two need a place to sleep, so, yeah.
Sarah? Sarah? Sarah?
Sorry. She glances over at you.
Why don't we go ahead and take a walk, and then I can tell you about more stories of the road life.
Sounds good to me. Seems to have outstayed our welcome here with the Cammy.
Come on, let's go. And the kindred will go ahead and make for the door.
Okay. Eddie's just going to remain seated.
See you around, Eddie.
You have a good evening, my good sir. Remember, you have a place in my worldview.
Yeah, you two stay safe and out of that sun. And he gives you a wave and a nod.
And Sarah would walk out.
Not necessarily ended there. The kindred is going to go ahead and walk off a few paces away, then further away, and sort of gesture for Sarah to continue following her, just at least for a half a mile away from the junkyard.
Well, Sarah would sling a baseball bat in her motorcycle and just push it slowly along at his side.
I just wanted to say this. Eddie's kind of paranoid now, so he's got like somebody watching the cameras, and that's about it. Just somebody watching the cameras, making sure that they're not coming back.
You're a vampire. You're supposed to be paranoid. Congratulations. All right. The night is pretty damn clear, actually. A lot of the starlights and a half slice of the moon is starting to show up as the kindred goes ahead and looks to Sarah and simply says, "Can you believe that guy?"
What? That he exists? Of course I can.
Fair enough. I don't think he really gets it, but I guess nobody really gets it. And I guess I don't get it either. I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. He's not been indoctrinated so much by the elders.
He may be a bit hot-blooded. Well, actually, I know why he's a little bit hot-blooded. He seems to be of those Philosopher King clans. I heard a birdie tell me.
Well, I heard a pretty lady shout it from the top of the car.
So, what do you expect from independence? I mean, what do you really expect?
Tonight, from what I've heard, colossal fuck-ups from the cammies, really.
Well, if we're the only two out here who self-govern ourselves, I guess it'd be a great idea to, I don't know, try to trust each other. And the kindred will go ahead and extend his hand and simply say, "My name is Jackson. I come from the barony of Samedi."
Sarah Kensington. And she takes the offered hand in a black leather gloved one of her own. I'm from east of LA.
Sounds about right. Sounds about right. Yeah, so I'm gonna guess you do have a place.
Well, I've got a nice motel that I'm going to be staying at tonight.
Yeah, you go ahead and do that.
A bit more permanent.
Well, if you do find something more permanent, if you do decide to stick around, here's my number. And the kindred will go ahead and write a number and place it into your glove hand. Give me a call.
All right, I'll give you a text so you got mine. You need to lift back into town.
Nah. I can find my way just fine.
All right, well, suit yourself. And she mounts up on the motorcycle.
You take care.
It's nice knowing there's someone around here that shares my same view.
Well, it's nice to know that there's somebody out here who has suffered some of the same things that I've gone ahead and suffered through without the shelter of the Camarilla.
Yeah, telling me, I thought it was just going to be a load of cabbies in there.
Nope. I'm going to bet there's a lot of things out here. This is the middle of nowhere. This is one of the spearheads of the Ivory Tower. It's also in the muck and mire of the cannibals.
Nice melting pot to go and explode then.
I look forward to it. Go on. Drive away.
She reaches her hand up to pull the red handkerchief scarf up over her nose before gunning the engine and driving off into the night, because she doesn't really want to swallow any bugs.
Nice. The masked kindred will go ahead and take a sharp parallel turn of the highway and start wandering into the more wilderness side between the junkyard and the rest of civilization, off to his own haunt.
Time provided, Eddie is probably still going to try and hunt tonight.
I think there's probably time.
Okay. So do we want to do a roll for that?
Go ahead. How do you propose to hunt?
I'm gonna take my gang out for a ride, and we're gonna basically like mug some people, try and like knock them out, and I'm gonna take some blood points from them, and then take all their money and shit, and just make them seem like they got mugged. Just kind of ride up on them on the highway, surround them with the motorcycle, make them stop the car, pull over to the shoulder, grab them up out of the car, kind of bop them on the head or whatever, knock them out. Probably the kiss would knock them out too, and then lick all their wounds and sit them back in the car. And after taking all their stuff, they'll think they just got mugged, hopefully. So, what is the total? Okay, I know I get herd, and do I get retainers as well?
No. if you start taking blood from your retainers, they stop being retainers. They stop being useful.
That's not
Especially
what I meant. I
prescribed?
meant for the hunting roll.
No.
Okay, what do I roll for the hunting roll then?
What do we say? Wits drive, wits streetwise, dexterity roll, strength roll. What do we think? When it comes to hunting, it's usually whatever you can justify.
I was thinking intimidation, really, if it's mugging.
Strength and intimidation?
Or brawl if you're just going to jump on someone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going with strength intimidation. Is that cool?
Sure, use your photons. That'd be funny.
I wasn't planning on using my potence. I was just planning on using the 5 dots in strength. I don't want to make a masquerade breach.
Fair dues, fair dues. Smart cookie. Go ahead and do it.
What is the success? 7?
Do you, well, normally it's reduced by herd and domain.
Oh, okay. So that's how you're doing it. It's reduced. Okay. So for herd, I have 2 dots, and for domain, I have 1 dot.
Your your domain only helps if you are in fact hunting in your domain. Are you in fact
Yeah.
hunting in your domain?
No. So it's only the
Okay.
2 from herd.
Yep. That 2 goes ahead and downgrades the difficulty from 7 to 5, and yeah, you have successfully done so. You have successfully found a victim which to draw sustenance from.
Okay. So I guess how I described it before, kind of shakedown kind of thing, like pull them out of the car, kind of rough them up a bit, and how many people were in the car?
Mm, well, I'd say 1 or 2.
Okay. I guess I'll feed on both of them if there are 2, and then I'll just take the 20%, so 2 blood points.
2 blood points from each.
All right, cool. So 4 blood points. That brings me up to 10. Yeah, because I didn't spend any after I went down to 6.
May I ask what your humanity is?
It is 6.
I think that might require a roll.
Do I roll humanity? So 6 or
Conscience.
conscious? There you go. Okay. Getting there.
Oh, hang on. The hierarchy of sin has 7 as theft.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're smashing the crap out of the car. I don't think it will require a roll.
Yeah, he's right.
Wait, what's that?
You are currently committing theft. Theft is at your threshold of humanity. You do not require a roll at this time.
Oh, okay, cool. That makes sense because, I steal a lot of shit. Alright, so, yeah, 4 blood points. That brings me up to 10, so that I'm only 1 below. I think that's good. So, after a midnight snack, Eddie and the gang drive back to the drive back to the junkyard and kind of pack everything up for the day. He's got people working on cleaning up the junkyard in the morning, and he's had somebody on the cameras the entire night after what happened, just to make sure that nobody sneaks into the junkyard. Now he's like super paranoid. Does anybody else have anything they want to do?
No.
Sarah just rides home and, well, rides back to the motel that she's been staying in and gets back to sleep before the morning hits.
Yeah, that definitely sounds good. Kindred, for his part, returns back to friendly faces. Friendly fanged faces.
The one final thing that Sarah would do would be to text Jackson.
Smiley face back to you.
Just with a little message saying, "Hi, it's Sarah."
Smiley face back to you.
Best of tenuous allies.
Tenuous allies!
And I think that is where we can leave the scene.
Yep.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. And good night on another episode of Vampire the Masquerade Independence.